Hello and welcome to Hardspace Shipbreaker. My name is Vilcata, and today we are going to break down the Atlas Nomad cargo hauler. Now, the Atlas variant was introduced in version 0.7 in early access, which is also the version that we are currently recording this in. Now, this is going to be a high-grade ship, or for the one we're doing is a high-grade ship, though the Atlas is introduced fairly early in the storyline. So if you are first encountering this as a newer player to the game, then the hazards for you are probably going to be significantly less dangerous than they will be for this video, but that doesn't matter. This will help you prepare for the worst to come, and if you have less things to blow up, then that's great for you. Also, as you can see, I am rank 30, so my tools have been upgraded, but the strategies will still be the same. So let's jump into it. Alright, so let's get into this. Now, my standard process for pretty much any ship is to strip the valuables off the exterior of the ship before going inside. Now, the sensor units here, what are they called? Sensor arrays, are a little different on this ship than they are on other ones, unless they have made changes that I'm not aware of in this version, in that the antenna is not attached or does not stay attached. You can see this little floating bit here. This goes to the processor. So if we grab just the sensor array, you'll see that it leaves behind the antenna. So you'll need to get them separately. I like to grab the antenna first because it's less likely to, it's got to break it off of that processor piece, and it's less likely to cause the little piece to go flying around. Now on these utility arms, they're pretty heavy, so you can just kind of grab them up, sling them around like this, and let them go. We're going to make sure that there's nothing sneaky hiding on the bottom. But from my experience on the Nomads, there are not typically things on the bottom. That's good. First thing we want to do is get in here, check for bad stuff, prepare the ship for depressurization. Though, on the Nomad, we are going to do things a little bit differently than we do on the other Atlases. Get these out of the way. I just like to get the... Whoop! Come back. Come back. Thank you. Now, if you were in an earlier version of this ship, you most likely have working atmospheric regulators, which there will not be any on this ship. Which is good. You're going to need to learn how to deal without them, because in the late game, there's never any working ones. Now also, in this version, there's unfortunately a bug that causes these atmospheric regulators to come off of the walls on their own when a room becomes depressurized. And you can see when I cursor over it, my cursor has that pulsing effect, which says that it is indeed attached to the wall. So that will not remain true. Now, here's where the Nomad is a little problematic. Oh, see all this cargo? There's no pulsing over it because none of it is tied down. That's why we're going to do things differently on this ship than we would on others. We are actually going to go through the roof instead of going through the floor the way I would like to. And the reason we're going to do that is because we're going to take advantage of these rail guides that are going to help hold these crates in place, so fewer things go flying around. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this regulator. I don't normally suggest intentionally having objects floating around. Way up here. But as I said, these things will become detached on their own in this version. If you're watching this in a later version, this might be something that's fixed and you may not need to do this. I shouldn't put that in the... Yeah. We'll leave it right there. Alright, I'm leaving this door open to depressurize the next room. Normally I try to do one chamber at a time, but because of that large airlock style, it's more problematic. And I'm going to tether this down just so I don't have to chase it so much. Now, this is going to be a little ugly, so just hang on to something. Alright, so the reason I wouldn't normally want to go through the roof is because, as you can see, things are flying all over the place. Priority is going to be to come out here and quickly just make sure things aren't flying away and nothing is flying into a processor or a furnace. Nope, very good. I'm not going to necessarily worry about getting everything to the barge immediately. I'm just going to make sure that they are not getting away.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Alright, I think we're pretty good. I don't think anything ran away from us. Locking that roof into place helps keeping them from going straight up into the stratosphere. This is going to be the last one we're going to grab. So on the Atlas class, all of them in fact, I like to
salvage secured. Credits
depressurize and then come back and start dealing with the Quasar engines. So if this is your first Atlas, the Quasar engines are different from all other engine types on the other ships. And we're going to start by removing these panels.
Processing valuable object. Credits awarded.
I'm going to leave this canister here and I'm going to show you a trick I don't typically use myself, but some people are more comfortable with.
Warning. Fuel levels are low.
We're running low on fuel. And we're going to cut all of these free.
Object accepted for processing. Credits to...
Now I have a lot of tethers at my level, so I will be using them quite a bit. If you do not have this many tethers yet, that's okay. You don't need to have a lot of tethers to do this, but it does help. Plus, you can always just buy more. So that frees up the thruster nozzle. All right. Now, the reason why we're doing the thrusters now as opposed to the front of the ship is because I want the mass of the ship to be present. If I start salvaging everything in the front, it becomes lighter, and when I start doing this tethering like this, we risk dragging the ship. And I don't want to drag the ship. So I'm tethering this thruster to the back wall because I want it to get out of my way as soon as I free it up. Now, I'll note here that you cannot get in here. You cannot fit in here. You have to remove it. And this is going to be the way I prefer to do it. This is the fast way. And it's safe as long as you're paying attention and do this smoothly. So we're going to start fires because the shutoff valve is at the back of thruster bay. I get out of the way so it pulls. Fly through the ring of fire. As you can see, we are way ahead of the fire. Plenty of time to do this. And pull the switch. As we turn around, you'll see it break apart. And now the fire is out.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Now I'm going to show you a trick that some people might find a little less nerve-wracking if you don't like fire. Which is to grab one of his coolant tanks, and we're just going to bang it. Now you might have to chase it, but that's all right, there's more. There we go, and got it. All right. As you can see, it is spewing coolant all over the place. We don't want to pull it too close to us because we can get cold. What we do want to do is run that coolant over the fuel pipes, get them good and frosty. Ready to go. And that lasts a pretty good length of time. In fact, I'm going to come over here and just
Alright, you got 5 minutes left in this shift.
frost this one up
before they turn the lights out
as
on
well.
you. We wrap.
All right. Now, hopefully we didn't take too long doing that. It won't stay frosted forever.
Thruster systems breached. Detecting elevated interior volatility.
As you can see, I didn't even bother tethering that because no fire. Let's get in here.
Salvage secured.
Pour ourselves a switch. There we go. Grab one of these lights on my way out. Why not?
Salvage secured.
Now see if
Account credit applied.
this frosting lasts. If not, yeah, it finally thawed out. That's fine. That's not the way I normally do it anyway. I like the Ring of Fire. Now there is no loss by using this fire method. The pipes are not destroyed. Pipes don't actually have value anyway,
Proceed with
because they are not assigned currently to, you know, the processor or a furnace or anything. So this is faster. And it's a little bit dramatic. You can get yourself set on fire, so don't go out of your way to bathe yourself in the flames. There we go. Grab these lights.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
As I mentioned, see the pipes, if we cursor over them, they don't say processor or anything like that.
Levels are critical. Return to the master jack to purchase supplies.
Now I'm going to do a couple of tethers. I'm going to do this one to pull it away from the ship. And then one to pull it forward to try to keep it away from that furnace. We are awfully close to the furnace. As you can see, the furnace is trying to grab it. And you gotta be prepared for that because it's hungry, hungry. There you go. Now, at the end of the thrusters is the fuel. So be careful with your cut. You want to take these out. And you can send these to the barge. All is one big unit. You don't need to remove the fuel tanks. He's gonna get stuck on the side? He is.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Oh. Grab this cool canister so that the lady doesn't complain about us not claiming it. Come on. You can do it. Get it over that little bit. There we go.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
I'm going to bump this up just a little bit because I don't want it running into the ship. And pull it.
Cut it. We're getting down to the wire. Let's put a bow on this shift.
Get around here. Just kind of get this guy into place as well. So we're running out of time. I'm going to pull this guy way forward. I don't want time to run out and us to get pushed back to the hab while he's being grabbed by the furnace. That's a sure way to lose a piece.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
And I don't think there were any canisters on that one. There are not. 18 seconds to go. Check for canisters. Oh, I guess there was a canister. That's all right. Whoop. All right. So the $1,000 all we lost, not a big deal. That one coolant canister got past us. Otherwise, all is good. All right, let's head to the second shift.
Credits awarded.
All right, let's not race across because we are. Look at how close we are on fuel.
Welcome to Vintatron 9000. Thank you.
That was close.
Fuel levels restored.
Hello, little crate. I know there are more of them floating around. We said we'll get to them later.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
I'm gonna grab this one too. I'm sitting here babysitting this thruster wall.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
And pull it in. I think we'll be fine there. Always be careful with your cut here.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
The back wall cannot be cut, so it's okay to use it as a backdrop. Oh, looks like we missed a light. That's okay. We're not trying for 100%.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Everything's turned in. All right. Now, this is a two-part piece. It has the hatches with a processor part. So I like to pull it away from the ship as one piece. And then just kind of cut it on the go. That way I don't have to individually drag these around the ship. Small efficiencies.
Processing valuable object. Credits awarded. Salvage secured. Account
All right.
credit
Now
applied.
you'll notice on the bottom there is this line that's in the way, kind of a edging to the wall. That's going to keep us from salvaging this. So I'm just going to push it back, give it a decent shove. Now you can leave it there until you've taken those walls away, but I kind of like to get these out of the way now. Because we're going to be manipulating the body of the ship. And I just kind of want the thrusters just done with. It looks like I didn't give them as much of a push as I thought I had.
Transferred.
There we go. Now he's clear of it. I'm going to pull it way forward. I'm not worried about putting it in the furnace yet, or the processor. I don't want it in the furnace. I just want it away from the furnace. So we're going to do that. I'm going to do a little bit of babysitting here and just wait. All right, we're looking good there. That'll veer it off. And even if it doesn't make it in, that's okay. It's safe and we can come back and get it later. Don't need to waste our time. Now these cargo containers are all attached. Now there's only 2 of them. There can be more than 2. But they're attached to this back plate, which is a processor item. So we're going to leave them attached to each other. All we need to do is cut them free.
Object accepted for processing. Credits
Up.
deposited.
Coolant canister got past us. Now, normally when I'm doing these, I just collect all the coolant canisters the moment that I take the panels away, because I don't use that method of frosting them.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
So I forget to look for them after the fact, because I'm used to them not being there. But they're not that valuable, so don't worry about it. Now that we got rid of that bottom thruster, we can take this out.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Gives us a window to the floor.
Salvage
Start getting
secured.
these barge items
Count
down.
credit applied.
Now I'm going to keep this back wall in place for the
Salvage
moment because
secured. Credits
we have not
deposited.
depressurized the cockpit. And it's a good practice that you have something to block stuff coming out of the cockpit in case there's something left in it. Now I don't think we have anything left in it because we took the... Oh, no, maybe we didn't. I was going to say we took the atmospheric regulator out, but I'm not sure if we took the one out of the cockpit. And we know that it's going to break off on its own if we didn't. I'm going to say we didn't. I don't think we took it out. And again, it's bugged in this version, at least we're assuming it is a bug.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Ah, how'd I miss that? Gimme. Thank you.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Let's go ahead and do this, and let's hope we don't lose the atmospheric regulator. I'm actually going to try to catch it. Oh, y'all got past me. That's all right. It got past me, but it didn't get destroyed. That's all we cared about. Now, most of this is
Salvage
all
secured.
processor in the back,
Credit applied.
so there's going to be a number of cut points we're just not going to bother with. There's a little bit of aluminum on the back, but it's merged or attached to the nanocarbon, and it's going to be lost anyway.
Credits transferred.
There's also a little unusual scenario here, which is this nanocarbon right here is flagged as furnace, which is highly unusual, and I wouldn't be surprised if that changes in the future. But we can't do anything about it because, again, it's all one part. So that's just going to be a loss.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Now, this cannot come out yet. In fact, we're not going to finish cutting it out because we don't want it banging around. This, however, is good to go. Now, we've already removed the airlock handle because we did it at the beginning. Don't have to worry about it. They sure don't make it easy to get to these cut points, do they? I'm gonna stinger this one because it's getting that red line across the wall, and I really just didn't want to cut it by accident. Okay, is that inside the engine? All right. little more trouble than that light was worth.
Salvage deposit accepted.
Alright,
Credits
where
transferred.
did the top go? Where you at? There you are.
Object accepted for processing. Credits
Gonna grab this
deposited.
hard crate while we're looking at it. See, all the thrusters are out of the way, so it's a lot easier to salvage these floating
Salvage
objects.
secured. Account credit applied.
In fact, I'm gonna quick peruse.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
And we do still have the quasar thrusters on the back wall. Important not to forget those.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
They'll take care of themselves. And do we have any pressurization things? Nope,
Salvage secured.
nothing to surprise
Account
us.
credit applied.
I'm gonna leave that door handle. We're gonna come down here. Actually, no, we're not. We're gonna go through here.
Got about 5
There's
minutes
the
left
reactor.
of this shift, Cutter. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Weaver out.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Go, go, go. Thank you. I like to tether them just to make sure they're going to the right place.
Salvage deposit.
In case you have a,
Credits transferred.
you know, a bad shot when you fire it. The reactor is worth an extra tether, you know? And I would say that's true at any level. Let's start dismantling the front here. All that off. This part nice and easy. And while we're out here, we're going to take the canopy off. Because the canopy belongs in the furnace. Be sure to cut above and below, but not towards the canopy. So here's the below. This canopy can be destroyed.
Caution. Tether supplies running low.
And we're not going to bother taking these out just yet
Material deposited.
until we get the shell
Valuable
away from it.
object processed. Credits deposited.
And this wall here can be cut as well, so be careful about cutting this cut point. Squeeze through. That on its way.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Send his buddy. Is this freed up now? It is. All right. We're going to grab it down here. The reason I said that is because there are, as you can see the pulsating on my cursor, there are panels that you can pull off, and if you tether the panel, then you end up just pulling the panel off instead. Give us a little love tap,
For processing.
get it away from the cockpit. Grab this flight terminal real quick while I'm sitting in front of it. Look at how full this room is.
Salvage secured.
There's a fair amount of stuff in
Account
it.
credit applied.
All right. There's enough for us to use a
Warning. Tethers depleted.
strategy that I like to use on these. Only got a minute and a half, but we might as well grab our tethers now.
Welcome to Vintage.
Valuable object processed. Credits
So we
deposited.
have more walls to strip away. think. Yeah, I think that one's going away. There you go. It was eager. We couldn't wait to get out of there. We're gonna grab this and pull it fast. In case it arcs like that. Oh, that wasn't an arc. That was that was my own grappler.
1 minute left, Cutter. Time to start wrapping things up. Weaver out.
These centerpieces go to the processor, whereas the sides go to the furnace. You may be familiar with these from the heavy cargo mackerel.
Credits awarded.
Come on out, buddy. You're free. All right. So we've still only lost 4,000. I think it's been almost all coolant canisters and a light that slipped past us, but that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Our goal is always the 98%. So we are well on our way for that. Gonna be easy to get. All right, a third shift. For some reason we spawned in staring at the ground. Now the rest of this should go fairly quickly.
Processing valuable object. Credits awarded.
There shouldn't be anything on the bottom that we need. That's all furnace stuff now. Now these are attached to a couple of points. Again, everything here is processor. For a couple of small aluminum beams that you just can't save anyway.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
So they're attached to this. And I'll leave to this, if I remember correctly. Oh, goodness. See, that is a furnace item, or not a furnace, processor item. We're just going to detach all the way around. Is this just too heavy for me? Yeah, that's all it is. I think our first 2 cuts was all we needed. That's alright, we made a little extra cut. No big deal. It just freed up this wall. See, that back piece and everything is all processor.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited.
I'm doing that last tether here because I want to turn it back away. It was kind of swinging around towards the furnace, and that makes me a little bit nervous. I can see the rest of the hull is now blue when I grab it,
Salvage
so it's
secured.
within the limits of
No
my
credit
grappler.
applied.
So I need to be careful to not accidentally move it. It changes orientation.
Salvage secured. Credits
At least
deposited.
change it in a way that I don't want it changed. Because I do want it changed. Now, since my grappler is strong enough to manipulate this without tethers, I could do this without tethers, but you may not have that strong of a grappler, so I'm going to show you this using the tethers. Now, we are not dunking the ship.
Valuable object processed. Credits
doing is we're just
deposited.
rotating it. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. And this is going to make it a lot easier to barge stuff.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Much faster, much easier. You see how long it took to take that one terminal off of the wall. That's why we like to tether things together that
Credit applied.
our card objects are removed.
Teardown complete. Tether
They'll
account
remove each other. And we can be off doing other things. And then come back and send them.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
All right. And see how quick it was to take out that entire cockpit? Once more. I am going to use my grappler to slow it down. If you don't have a strong enough grappler, then you just need to cancel the tether a little sooner.
Salvage deposit accepted.
Now the ship is upside down, and we can do the same thing again. Now the second floor is on the bottom.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
This food dispenser is a two-part piece.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
This furnace item out of the way. Didn't go out of the way as much as I wanted it to, but that's all right.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Just move out of the way, please. Thank you. Now these beds take a while to detach, but they're light, so you want to get out of the way if you're going to tether it straight. 'Cause watch. Pew!
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Alrighty.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Oh, this guy just stopped right on the brink of it. Just didn't want to go in, did he?
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
All right, so we always want to do another once-over of the bulk of the ship to make sure we didn't miss anything
Salvage secured.
that
Account
belongs
credit
somewhere
applied.
other than the furnace. Nothing on the exterior. No door consoles, airlock consoles, and the like. Lights, if you're wanting to grab lights. Okay, I'm not going to make the effort to grab all these little breaker lights, or little button lights. Just grab one, just grab it on my way out. And let's send this bad boy into the furnace. Processor pieces that we missed. We didn't leave a floor. Oh, I saw the word processor. What did I see? Oh, it's just this little bit right here. Yeah. Not much we can do about that. We're not gonna go all crazy cutting for that little piece. You know, destroying a lot of aluminum, just freeing it up. So we're going to look for any crates that we left behind. I think we got all of them. Maybe not. Something got way out there. Or, yeah,
Material deposited.
atmospheric regulator. It doesn't surprise me. Like I said, those get, you know, they get shot out now because they break off the wall. There's our mini-me. And if you look at the status bar at the top, you can see there's almost no gray.
Credits transferred.
which lets us know we haven't missed anything major. There might be a tiny little thing somewhere. Just a little bit of gray left. Just and one last look. Nothing obvious. Those are ships floating below us. We're not going to salvage those. Alrighty. And let's get back on the hat with some time to spare. All right, 99.2%. Very nice indeed. And we didn't take time to cut out any doors or anything like that. And you can see all those lights that we didn't pick up just really didn't add up. So, no big deal. All right, well, that was the Atlas Nomad. And, you know, it has a level 9, so that's about as bad as it gets. We got lucky in some regards. There wasn't a radiation housing and there weren't any air filters. But, you know, those are, it's a trade-off, right? We didn't have them, so we didn't have to deal with them, but we also didn't get the money for them. But, yeah, you know, it was pretty good. So I hope that this was informative and enjoyable. And if you liked it, be sure to leave a like. And you know, you got anything to say hi or whatever you want. Or you got any tips or tricks or other ways that you like to do things, or have any questions about why I did something, be sure to hit the comment section. I'd love to hear from the people who are watching my videos. If you really like this game and you want to see more how-to videos, my channel is full of them, and they are being updated for this version 0.7. But thank you very much for coming out, and hopefully I'll see you in a future episode.